I think about my grandmother. Woo! It's gonna be hard, y'all. Okay. I think about my grandmother because last week, my grandmother would have been 94 years of age. My grandmother was the most important person in my life. Out of all the people in the world, it was my grandmother. You know why? Because my grandmother gave her life so that I can be who I am today. My grandmother made sacrifices financially. My grandmother never said no. My grandmother always forgave. My grandmother did everything she could so that her grandkids and her kids could be where they are today. In February of this year, my grandmother passed away. And not only did she pass away, I didn't get an opportunity to see her before she passed. Are y'all still here? Because the moment I got to the Bay Area to see my grandmother, I get in the car with my mother, thinking I'm going to see her. My mother says, your grandma's dead. She just passed. But yet I have to get through that, get back on a plane, fly, speak, and do a conference. My grandmother has just died. Whoa! Someone say pain. I had to have the courage to continue to build the legacy that my grandmother helped me start, despite her not being there. Can you imagine that you have to show up in front of audiences and motivate and have a positive attitude, and in your heart, your grandma just passed away? Can you imagine that you're drawing 450 people all the way to Miami, Florida, in the midst of obscurity and all these rain challenges, and you still got to step up and you got to speak? Dr. J, how'd you do it? How did you do it? I did it because I realized that what my grandmother would want is to continue her legacy of being generous, of giving back, and making an impact. And so by me continuing to do the work that I am doing was continuing to keep her legacy impacting people she's never met. Someone say never met. He said, Dr. J, why are you sharing this with me? Because I woke up this morning. I saw you. Come over here. Karen, you're very significant. The reason why you're significant is because my grandmother had an organization called Today's Women. And my grandmother desired to uplift, inspire women everywhere. That was her organization. And I sat there and said, how do you carry out the legacy of your grandmother? Today, you're the first recipient of the Jessie Mae Pittman Scholarship of Today's Women. So, with that 100, you carry out the legacy that my grandmother put in me and is releasing to you to be a powerful woman, to be an incredible woman, to carry out that legacy. And I wanted to tell those who identify as women in the room. I know I have the other ones, my men, I know I get all that, yeah, but this is what I felt. This is my grandma. I got to tell you. I wanted to tell y'all, it's your time. It's your time to be you. It's your time to break glass ceilings. It's your time to eradicate all the microaggressions that people say that women cannot lead. It is your time. And I want to honor you today as a legacy of my grandmother to continue impacting generosity and being who you are destined to be. Because